So very good evening, everyone. Good evening to all. So I welcome each one of you to my class on the Indian Penal Code 1860. Let's start with my brief introduction first. My name is Sandeep Khatri. These are my areas of specialization as you can see on the screen. This is the link of my profile of Unacademy. So make sure you follow that to get all the updates about my special classes and my plus courses. Here is the link of my Telegram channel where you can connect with me and ask your questions in relation to your judicial preparation. At last, I have mentioned my code that is Khatri10, which you can use to get access of all the special classes, uh, which is completely free of cost on Unacademy app. So make sure you use that. So this was about me. Now I request everyone, please be attentive, and this is going to be interactive session. So the moment you feel you're not clear with anything, feel free to ask your questions in the comments. Before starting this class, students, I have one important announcement in relation to your 9 special laws that has been added recently for your UP paper 1. So if you are facing any difficulty in any of these laws, you can refer my classes which are available on Unacademy app in my special classes. I have covered all the explanations and the important MCQs in relation to these acts. And in case if you find it difficult to find any of these classes, you can send me your queries on my Telegram channel as well. So today we are going to discuss about one important topic, that is section number 34, which is basically the provision of joint liability. So let's start this class. Before starting this class, if you have any questions in your mind in relation to this topic, you may ask in the comments and I'll answer accordingly. So let's start this topic. So the very first thing which you should know about section number 34 is that what is section 34? What is that one word which defines the whole concept of section 34? And trust me, it is not common intention. Yes. Why not common intention? Because section 34 does not define the concept of common intention. Common intention is just one of the essentials of section 34. Yes, one important essential, but it is not all about common intention. Then the very first question, what is section 34? So section 34 is a concept of joint liability. I'm repeating myself. What is section 34? Section 34 is a concept of joint liability. Now, before entering into section 34, now let me tell you some things about IPC students. When it comes to IPC, you can divide the whole IPC into two parts. The one is basically the general principles, and the second one is the offenses and their punishment. When it comes to general principle, we can say our chapter number 1 that deals with the concept of jurisdiction is one of the example of general principles. Then your explanation part, general explanations, the chapter number 3, punishments, chapter number 4, general exceptions, chapter number 5, that is of your abatement, then your chapter number 5a, criminal conspiracy. These all concepts come under the category of general principles. Okay. Now coming to offenses and their punishment, then there are again examples like offenses in relation to body, offenses relating to your property, offenses relating to documents, offenses relating to election, offenses relating to marriage, and so on. So these are the examples of this kind of a category. Now coming to the topic for the day, which is section number 34, this falls under the concept of general principle. Usually you get these kind of questions that whether section 34 is an offense or not. And the answer is no. Section 34 does not create any substantive offense. It is just a provision of joint liability. Nothing more than that. So I hope the introduction of section 34 is clear to you. Okay, coming forward. Now, what are the essentials of section 34? Coming to the essentials of section 34, the very first one is several persons. It shows that one person, if there is only one person who has committed one offense, one particular offense, that person cannot be liable under section 34, because the very first essential of section 34 is several persons. Several person here means two or more persons. So is there any limit of two or more persons? Like this can be 5, this can be 10, 20, 50, 100 or whatsoever. So the very first essential is two or more person, which means one person cannot be held liable. If there is only one person who has committed an offense, there cannot be any role of section 34. Why? As I just told you in the previous slide, that section 34 deals with the concept of joint liability. Now in that scenario, when you say joint, you need minimum two person there, two or more persons there. Okay, so that is your very first essential. Now coming forward to the next essential, the second one. And the second essential says criminal act. So if any criminal act is done by several persons, so here criminal act basically means any of your offenses in furtherance of common intention. Now these are the two concepts which we are going to delve in detail. In furtherance of common intention. Now very first thing, what is common intention? So common intention means pre-arranged plan. And when I say pre-arranged plan, is there any time limit that it should be before 24 hours or before 2 hours? No, common intention means pre-arranged plan. That can be before 1 week or that can be at the spur of the moment. So common intention is that part. When there are two or more persons who has, who has done some criminal act in furtherance of pre-arranged plan. Now, one more important topic here, that is your in furtherance of. Now, what is this in furtherance? This furtherance is basically, students, is an amendment. In furtherance of common intention. Now, let's assume if there are two persons, A and B, and they have a common intention to commit an offense of theft in a house. So, but Mr. A has committed murder as well. So, B was having common intention to commit the offense of theft, but not of the offense of murder. So, A will get the punishment of murder and AB both will be get the punishment of theft as well. So, in furtherance is one of the important topic. Now coming to the next one, the fourth one, which is basically the consequences of section 34. So if there are several persons who has done criminal act in furtherance of common intention, now what are going to be the consequence? Let's start with an example first. So there are suppose two parties, A and B, and they have committed the offense of murder of Mr. X. Now A is the one who actually shoot Mr. X. B was just standing there. Okay, so B was actually giving the moral support, okay, to Mr. A so that he can commit the offense of murder. Now in that scenario, Mr. A will get the punishment of under section 302, that is the offense of murder. But what about Mr. B? Now, technically, if you see, Mr. B has not committed the offense of murder. But if you will apply section 34 here, you will see all the essentials has been completed. It means two or more persons has done a criminal act in furtherance of common intention. B actually knows what A is going to do with X. So now B will also get the same punishment. So B will get the punishment of 302 read with section number 34. Now, because of this general principle of section 34, because of this concept of joint liability, B will also get the punishment of murder. Why? Because the fourth and the final essential of section 34 says each of such persons, so basically A and B both, each of such person is liable for that act in the same manner. In which manner? In which manner Mr. A is committing, A is getting the punishment in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. So Mr. B will get the punishment of section 302, read with 34. So it was just an interpretation of section number 34. I hope you are clear with this. If you have any questions in your mind in relation to this, feel free to ask in the comments. Now, let me tell you one more thing here. On one hand, we have a concept of common intention. And on another hand, there is a concept of same intention. Now, very first thing, is there any difference? Answer is yes. Okay, when we are see, if I apply English language here, they may sound the same thing, but in when it comes to your legal language, there is a difference between these two concepts. Now, what is that difference? How common intention is different from same intention? So let's take an example. A and B both plan to kill Mr. X, and A and B shoot Mr. X. So this is an example of common intention, pre-arranged plan of A and B. Okay. Now coming to the concept of same intention. Now A wants to kill X and B also want to kill X, but there is no communication between them. So A one day shoot Mr. X from one location and B on another hand shoot from different angle. Now in this particular example, as there was no communication, there was no common intention, but both wants to kill Mr. X. So both will get the punishment of 302. But what is the difference in the case of common intention? In the case of common intention, there is going to be the role of section 34, read with 302. But here both will get the punishment of under the section 302. So both wants to kill, but there is no communication between them. There is no pre-arranged plan. There is no common intention. This is the concept of same intention. For this, you can refer section 34 to understand the concept of common intention. And as far as your same intention is considered, you can refer section number 35 for this. Now, there is one more similar term, that is similar intention. So there is no difference between same intention and similar intention. So I hope this is clear to you. Yes, any questions? Okay. Going forward, now there comes a landmark judgment in relation to this case, and that is basically Barendra Kumar Ghosh versus King Emperor. So it's a landmark judgment. So basically there are four persons. So how we are going to cover this landmark judgment? First, I'm going to tell you all the material facts. Okay, the very first thing. After that, I'll tell you the issue that has been created. After that, we are going to discuss the judgment and then the reasons for that judgment. So starting with the material facts. So there are four persons and then they plan to rob a post office. Now, as they plan to rob a post office, A and B will enter the post office, okay, and they will demand money from the postmaster. And C and D will wait at the main gate, at the C and D will wait at the front gate of the post office, and if there is any police or any kind of a threat, so they will signal A and B. So that was the plan. And in the plan itself, they told that A and B are having gun as well. Okay, and if the postmaster is not giving the money, then they can shoot as well. So this was the plan. Now, as per to their plan, A and B entered into the post office and they shot down the postmaster. So they basically killed the postmaster, and C and D was waiting outside the post office. Okay. Now coming to the liability, the issue that has been created. The issue was that only A and B basically killed the postmaster. Okay. But when it comes to the liability of C and D, now C and D will get the punishment of robbery only, or C and D will also get the punishment of murder of postmaster. So that was the issue created. Now coming to the judgment. As per to the judgment, they all got the punishment of under section 34, read with 302. Now coming to the reasons. Why? Why so? Now coming to the reasons, students, all the essentials of section 34 has been fulfilled. How? The very first essential, several persons. So basically two or more. In as per to the facts, there were 4 persons, A, B, C and D. Okay. Now second, criminal act. So whatever they did, the robbery or the murder, that is a criminal act. In furtherance of common intention, whether C and D were aware about the intentions of A and B, answer is yes. So there was common intention, and whatever had taken place, that was in furtherance of common intention. And at last, if all the 3 essentials has been fulfilled, then the fourth essential will tell that each of such person, which is A, B, C and D, each of such person is liable for that act in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. So section 34, read with 302. So that was your landmark judgment of Barendra Kumar Ghosh. Now coming to one more important part of section 34. Section 34 does not create substantive offense. As I told you in the introduction itself, that when it comes to the the concept of this offense, this term offense has been defined under section number 40. And when you want to take some examples of the offenses, you can take murder, culpable homicide, hurt, grievous hurt, acid attack, okay, kidnapping, theft, robbery, dacoity. These are some examples of the offenses. But when you look at section 34, it does not create any substantive offense. It's just a principle. It's just a general principle of joint liability. It's a general principle of joint liability. Now, let me give you one more example of this whole concept. Suppose Mr. A wants to kill Mr. B, and A give a command to C, his friend, that you just hold Mr. B so that he cannot move, and so that A can kill him through his knife. Okay, so that A can cut the throat of Mr. B. Now, in that scenario, there is no doubt about it that Mr. A has committed the offense of murder. Section 300. Firstly, intention to cause death. You can easily see as per to the facts of the case. But what Mr. C is doing? Mr. C is just assisting Mr. A so that he can easily commit an offense of murder. Now the question is, what kind of punishment will Mr. C get? What kind of punishment? So he has not committed the offense of murder, the very first thing. But should he get the punishment? Answer is yes. Why? Because he supports the act of Mr. A. The law supposes if there is no Mr. C, there is probability that A will never committed the offense of such kind in a first place. So the thing is that we should punish C as well. Now the question is under what concept? C is not the one. See, what kind of probabilities that all can come under this concept? Let's take an example. If a person has committed an offense, A has committed an offense of murder. This is the first. Second one, A is actually committed the abetment of the offense. Then we do have a concept of section 107. Then there is the concept of Mr. A has committed the offense of criminal conspiracy of murder. That is section 120A. We do have. Then there is a concept of if suppose the offense has already taken place. Now A is suppose giving shelter or food to the offender. So A will get that is your harbor 52A. Now coming to the final concept, students. What if A is the one who was involved in an offense? In such a manner, he was present there and he was assisting his friend in committing the offense of murder. Then there comes the role of section 34. In such a sense that Mr. A will get the punishment of the same manner, in the same manner, whatever offense he was involved in. So there is a concept of active participation as well. So there must be some active participation on the hand of one party. So this was the concept of section number 34. Now if you have any questions, you may ask in the comments. There is one more landmark judgment which you can note it down, and that is Mahbub Shah versus King Emperor. That is again something which you cannot miss. You will get questions in relation to that judgment as well. Yes, anything which you are not clear with, feel free to ask questions. Okay, then I have some announcements to make. So this is the link of my profile, students, of Unacademy. So make sure you follow that. This is the link of my Telegram channel, and this is my code Khatri10. Let's crack PCSJ with Unacademy. These are the upcoming batches of Unacademy, as you can see. Regular linking course 2023 started from January 26th. Rapid revision for Uttarakhand Judiciary, and this is going to be start from Feb 1st. Rapid revision for West Bengal Judiciary already started from January 23. Unacademy is launching Judiciary Notes on 30th of January, and these are the key features. As you can get subjective theory, quick view charts, recent cases and landmark judgments, legal maxims, integrated MCQs and previous year questions, mains questions and model answers. You can celebrate, Unacademy is celebrating Republic Day. You can get 20% off on all your judicial Judiciary subscriptions. This is valid till 28th January. And as you can see, this is applicable for plus and iconic courses. Price hike is coming soon, students, from 1st of February. You can also subscribe for this UP Judiciary Prelims mock test series. These are the features. You can get 3 tests on first on 3rd Feb, second on 5th Feb, and third on 7th Feb. There are 3 full length mock tests. Okay. And the similar you can find it on Chhattisgarh Judiciary Prelims mock test series is also available. So that's it from my end. See you in my next class. Till then, yes, it's time to say peace.